Hi, this is Trax. This is the first video in a support series I'd like to make. This one's all about laning against a solo offlaner. You normally want to place the first ward mid, but you definitely want a safe lane ward after you feel you might start leaving the lane. You don't really need one while you're in the lane at the start, because you're there and the enemies aren't really going to gank and carry with you there. But it reaches a point where you do have more impactful things to do other than leech XP, because the offlane is going to know that he can't reach the creep wave at this point. Always place the ward in the safe lane to watch out for rotations from the enemy team, because if you're doing a good job of zoning the offlaner, there will be times when you do leave the lane. If you want to check runes or stack camps, maybe gank another lane. In these times, your carry must be protected by wards that spot rotations, especially the TP rotations of the tower. However, if your opponents do their job right, you won't really spot them because they're smoked. But if you can't see enemies on the map, the rule of thumb is to just not leave your safe lane carry alone. Or in either case, if like the creep wave is near the tower, you should just keep a TP on yourself. So if they do gank him, you can just TP in and save him. Offlaners are having a hard time right now with the reduced XP gain from neutrals, the nerf to shrines, and also the removal of PMS. It's now common for them to sneak to your jungle and steal the first wave to bring the equilibrium closer to their tower and also secure a few early levels. As the enemy, you obviously don't want them to do that, so the best countermeasure is to just prevent it all from happening in the first place by not letting them get to the creep wave. You can just guard the entrance to the jungle or the lane, and they're not going to be able to get there. So, in case the enemy didn't show up to steal your creep wave, or even if they did and you just chase them away, after your carry takes the rune, he should take over your position in protecting the creep wave, and then you should go immediately to the lane and just check if the enemy range creep is ahead of the melee creeps, because what offlaners like to do is let the range creep run in front because it'll die first and the lane will push them. It's easy to prevent this just by standing there and taking the range creep aggro, and then as soon as the melee creeps overtake it, you just run back to your tower and make sure that the creeps hit each other at the same time. That prevents any lane from pushing, and it keeps the aggro natural and the equilibrium natural. As a support in lane against the solo offlaner, your goal is to have your carry with absolute free farm and an offlaner who has 0 XP from lane. To achieve this, you need to always be in a position where you're able to trade hits favorably with the offlaner and harass him out of lane. You should always take favorable trades and never draw creep aggro when doing this. Remember the creeps check aggro every 2 seconds and only aggro to hostile units within a 500 range. So as long as you initiate the attack on the enemy outside of their creep's 500 range and then get back, you're able to safely harass the enemy even if they are standing under their own creep wave, and you won't draw aggro by messing up lane equilibrium and all that. It's also important to just make the enemy scared of you by staying hidden in trees and then just beat the shit out of them whenever they walk near the creeps. And you just need to make sure that they can't beat you in the trade, and you're all good. Just also remember that you should always check if the enemy have a lot of regen, or maybe items like Orb of Venom, Magic Stick, or Stout Shield, because they can use that to beat you in trading. Some offlaners like Clock and Bat also have insane kill potential by themselves, especially if it's on you alone. Like if your carry's farming and you're just trading with them, they can kill you. If they have a movement speed advantage, that is. So what they do is they like to go early boots, and you can actually punish this. They're low regen and low stats, because they just rush boots. You can just get your position 4 in the lane, and you guys can kill them really early. Easy first bloods. You should never really stand behind your carry and watch him farm. That's the worst thing you could be doing. You don't even need to be in the lane if that's the case, you're just sapping XP. So remember to always be a threat by being the wall between the offlaner and the wave of creeps. Or maybe just hide in the trees, which threatens a kill on the offlaner if he steps forward, but never stand behind your carry. Like, if the offlaner steps forward, you come out from the trees and hit him and make him scared, nearly kill him, so he'll know that if the support's missing, I can't actually step near the creep wave. Always carry a TP. It's common for your other lanes to be ganked, and a clutch TP in from you could turn the entire skirmish around and net some kills for your team and some sweet XP and gold for you. Always head back to your safe lane immediately after rotation and secure your carry's farm. You can probably stack a camp or two or pick up runes on your way back. Sometimes if your carry is in a free farm situation already and offlaner can't contest him, you might want to start coordinating ganks with your form. This is a lane sport guide, so I'll get back to the actual laning stuff. One of the most important skills a support needs is understanding creep equilibrium. You need to constantly assess the creep equilibrium every time your carry gets a CS and decide whether the lane is going to be pushing to the enemy tower in the near future. If your carry is doing his job because he's a good player and he knows how creep equilibrium works and how it'll make both your lives easier by just hitting the enemy creeps when they are low and not fucking full HP, denying his own creeps, then there is normally no reason to pull because the lane will stay in a favorable place for you to zone the offlaner and kill him. So the thing is, unfortunately, in most games this is never the case, and at my level the carry players just push the lane. This is fine as long as you know what you're doing as the support player. Just pull the small camp into the lane at 13 seconds or 42 or 43 seconds and let the camp hit you in the creep aggro radius. Your creeps will get mad and attack the small camp, but they'll win if they fight them. So what you need to do is pull through from the large camp to the small camp. You can take like one of the small camp kills, but then you need to run to the large camp and bring those creeps to the small camp, so that when all the small creeps die, your creeps then aggro onto the large creeps. This is something you'll just get with timing, so go into like a practice lobby and just do it like 4 or 5 times until you get the hang of it. If you've managed to do everything well, the offlaner is by his tower crying to his team, your carry is missing his CS and free farm, it means that it's time to leave the lane for a bit and help out in other ways, because being in lane, you're just sapping XP from your carry. Since the offlaner will come back if you leave it, it's best to do something that's nearby so you can just get back quickly to get him out of the lane. You might want to do a quick smoke gank with your 4 and then immediately get back, but most of the time you're only going to have enough time to stack camps. Both the safe lane camp stacks around 53-54, so it's possible to stack them both at once, with range heroes that is. However, stacking one at a time is also fine. I'll cover more advanced stacking for Radiant to Die in a later guide. XP and gold is also important on supports, because you get very little, if any, from creeps, since you have to give it up to players higher on the farm priority than you, which is most of the team. I'll start off by saying that bounty runs should be prioritized on the support with the XP or gold talent at level 10, so even if it's the position 5, if he has the XP or gold talent he should take it. If none have this, however, then it should go to the support who is closest to the next level or the next item, like Arcane Boots and Urn. If none of the above apply, then runes just go to the pos 4 because they're higher on the farm priority. Always make a run for the offlaner's rune just before it spawns so that you can steal it from him and get your own as well. This denies the offlaner so much XP and gold, and he's not getting anything in the first place, so it's a very important thing to deny him that, and it's also important for you to get it since you're not getting CS. If the offlaner is missing from the map, I wouldn't go and take the rune from him, I just take my own, because the risk of you dying walking uphill is extremely high. Thanks for watching, don't forget to like and subscribe. Comment below if you have any suggestions for future videos or any questions you'd like answered. I'd like to be making content maybe once a week, but I'm quite busy with university and actually playing, so we'll see how it goes. Cheers.